Ua kore e rereke I a tātou. Me nā kaore e tau te katia.
Being raised by a white man, but then having a black mother, there were some things about me that are white tendencies, and then there were things inside of me that are black tendencies. And then I got into music, or music got into me.
Communication breakdown, now I'm guessing. Playing all these games got me stressing.
My name is Tali Angeles Jenkinson, and I release music under the name of Valle. I live in Christchurch, and Mum is from PNG, and Dad is British, born in Christchurch, New Zealand. I was born in Papua New Guinea. One of the best ways I can describe it is diverse. There's over 150 languages, and each province is almost like its own mini country within the country. Very, very diverse, very colourful. When the main city, Port Moresby, developed, a lot of people came to the city as a means to pursue opportunity for like business, and so they form these things and they call them settlements. It basically set up temporary houses. The standard of living in these settlements is very, very low. They're very, very dangerous. Crime rates are super, super high, and just, I guess, real conducive for disease to spread. The main reason why I left PNG when I was young was to seek healthcare. I got malaria, which is a big killer around the world, as well as Papua New Guinea. I was in the early stages of developing rickets, and that's when your body's not getting the nutrition, the bones aren't getting the nutrition and calcium that it needs, and so they can start curving and growing out of shape. I needed to come to New Zealand to receive life-saving treatment. Growing up in New Zealand was complex. Looking different, being different, sounding different, being from a different country to the majority. Heaps of memories about being teased about having curly hair, like having an afro was like the most uncool thing. I remember straightening my hair just to fit in. It's like real awkward to mention now because you just feel like you're just like, nah, I rock my afro. But at the time you're like, this is my biggest issue. It's so funny because like nowadays everyone wants to have an afro. It's just the most hilarious thing. And I'm just like sitting on the sideline and people come up to me and they're like, oh, how do I get your hair? Is your hair natural? And I was just like, oh, you gotta go for like 10 years of bullying and then you can have this.
I don't got no love, where these people from me? I know what they want, they wanna come on me, they ain't got it.
I first started getting into music. Dad always tells me this memory of him playing Van Morrison. And he said that since I'd come from a place of trauma and I wasn't expressive when I was younger, and then the moment that he played Van Morrison, his words were I came out of my shell. I was cutting hair at my first job. I was 17 years old and a Filipino kid walked in off the street. I'd released one song on SoundCloud. He'd heard my song somehow. I have no idea. I'd never met this dude ever before. So I was just like weirded out that this dude had found my music and then also that he liked my music and then he's like wanted to record me for free. In 2018, I released my debut single under Valle. The song's called Love Me. It did really well, received radio airplay on the mainstream radio stations. I think more potent than that was people's response to it when they heard it and how it made them think about their story and their identity and their relationship with their parents and what that meant for them. So I, like deep innermost part of me wanted to go to Papua New Guinea and was curious, but that was like shelved in layers and layers of like hurt and mistrust I think because Mum was young, there were drugs involved, she wasn't the greatest parent, and so the example of a Papua New Guinean person to me, it wasn't something that was desirable to know about because of the demonstration that Mum gave me as a young child. 2019 was the first time that I went back home to Papua New Guinea, and the experience was overwhelming and hard to explain. I wasn't sure what the family felt about me, about my side of the family, what they had been told from my mum. I walked out and then I just saw them, and then I got really shy. I was like, they don't want to see me. I've been so far from my culture for such a long period of time. And then Auntie ran up, my uncle was there, and then there were just heaps of extended family. There would have been nearly 20 people there. And then Grandma comes, and this is where the emotion really hit me. Grandma came out and she just grabbed me and just like burst into tears, and she just couldn't like stop crying. She just clenched me real tight. Just meeting love again. Like love was a person with 2 legs and 2 arms. Seeing my face and my DNA, like, oh, he's got my eyebrows, there's my nose. I learned lots of things. There is beauty in the Papua New Guinean side of me. I learned that there was beauty in it, and I saw the beauty firsthand. Everything that was like missing and all these questions that I had were like answered, and all of a sudden I just had this intense pride. For anyone that's in any cultural predicament where there's identities like a confusing thing, you have to go home. Like, you have to go home. And I won't be able to tell you exactly what it will do for you because it's different for everyone. But I just know, like, it won't be something that you'll regret. Like, your eyes will be opened and it'll have this rich feeling of home. It takes you to unlearn things that you thought you knew about your culture maybe. And you just have to lay them down and realize that those things are identified with everyone's culture, and you just need to be there to receive what is beautiful.
He mana nui atu tō te whakamatemate, tūraki I te wehi, I tēnā o te whatu moana.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.